I just got back from Streamer University tryouts. And before we begin this whole thing, we need to make a couple of things very clear. Because I've been seeing some stuff from my community, and I've also been seeing some stuff that's been left on my comments on Twitter page, or on my Twitter. Let me make this first thing very clear. What I'm going to say today is not going to be about slandering Kai. I have no interest in talking crap about Kai Cenat as a person, throwing out ad hominem attacks, and just saying a bunch of dumb stuff that, quite frankly, just attacks his personal character. That's not what this is going to be about. But with what I saw and what I experienced, and the people that I met that day experienced, and what I've seen other people be frustrated with online, it's all pointing to one direction, which is that this was not just an egregious misuse of everybody's time. I'm now getting
I'm
donations.
so genuinely curious to hear what happened. I was gonna DM you earlier, but I wanted to wait. Also, you better get straight into the story, bro. No pretense, just start the app.
Thank you for $10, bro. I'm going to continue on my rant. Please hold off on the donos. I love you. As I was saying, I I have no interest in talking crap and making drama about Kai. That's not what this is about. This is about what I saw, which and experienced. And it's not just me. There are other people that I didn't even talk to that feel the same way I do. But this isn't about me speaking my truth, okay? This is about me speaking the truth. The things I'm going to say are factual. These are things that happened. And I'm going to point out to you guys how, from my perspective, from everything that I saw, from everything that I experienced as someone who made it inside of the building, this, by all intents and purposes, was quite frankly one big major scam. Now, let me say this too, because that word carries a lot of weight, and I do not use that lightly. I was hesitant about using the word scam. Aaron!
This wouldn't have happened if you chose Team Foundation. Rock beats ice.
Thank you for your $5, Aaron. Can we leave the Fortnite comments to a bare minimum and the donations? Thank you. As I was saying, the term scam I do not use. I don't take that term lightly. But when I look up the definition of the word, which we'll go over later, and I don't want to be ultra Mr. Textbook critical either, but when I go over the definition of the word scam, and when I go and look at what happened over the weekend, this is the only reasonable, that's the only logical word I can come to explain this whole thing. And once again, I'm not happy about this. It doesn't make me feel good to have to say this. And quite frankly, if I was just some average clout chaser, I would leave this whole thing alone, suck it up, and just wait for Kai to see my application into Streamer University. But quite frankly, after what I saw, I'm not very confident that he would see it anyway. As a matter of fact, this video in some ways might be the best way for Kai to know that I was there. It didn't have to be, but it is. Quite frankly, Kai did, in my opinion, the absolute bare minimum that he could have done for this event. As a matter of fact, it was less than the bare minimum. There was clear signs of negligence, clear signs of disrespect, mistreatment of his fans and guests that arrived there that day, and an overall lack of appreciation for the people that took time out of their days who were the most vulnerable to risk everything that they had to go. And I'm not talking about me. Now listen, and let me say this too, okay? I with or without Streamer University, I as a content creator am going to do fine. Doesn't mean I don't want to go or I didn't want to go. But at the same time, I'm not dependent upon this as my only shot to being able to make it as a content creator. I have a fantastic community, all of you guys watching who have supported me. As a matter of fact, it was because of you guys that I went to this thing. And I also want to make this very clear. The thing, I do not, even in spite of how bad things turned out, I do not regret going. I met some beautiful people, and I was able to figure out things about myself and my career as a content creator that I would have never been able to do if you guys and my sister and brainy hadn't have encouraged me to go. All of these things were amazing discoveries on a personal level. They were fantastic things to discover about myself. But the big thing that I discovered wasn't really so much about me. It was more so about the content creation industry. It was more so about how people are treated. It was more so about, really, in essence, the core of the class that I wanted to teach at Streamer University, which, by the way, Kai Sanat, if you ever watch the recording of this or you watch the live stream or whatever, somebody just so happens to send this to you, you need to take my class. After what I saw, you need it. There's something very important that I think a lot of people need to understand. Just because you have money, it doesn't give you wisdom. And for someone that had been kind of watching Kai's journey the last 6 months, seeing him read books and try to better himself, this does not look like the progression of someone who spent the last 6 months reading and transforming. This looks like a regression, or actually a return, quite frankly, to the status quo. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. Something else I want to point out that I've seen from my community and other people, I'm personally not mad because I didn't get the chance to talk to Kai. As a matter of fact, before I left, when we were going back and forth on stream, I told all of you guys, there's probably a good chance I'm not going to even get to see him. I'm probably not going to meet Kai, but you know what? Screw it. We ball. Let's jump in there. Let's see what we can do. I know that if I have the chance to get myself in front of Kai, that'll be the best shot for me to get in Streamer University. And I was so confident in it that I knew that if I could get in front of Kai, it would damn near guarantee me a slot. Because I know that what I have to offer is the way I carry myself. I was going to give him an offer that he couldn't refuse. But what I quickly found out over time, as I sat there in that auditorium, being one of the few hundred that actually had the privilege of being able to make it inside, was that I never had a chance to meet Kai to begin with. As a matter of fact, 99.9% of us didn't. None of us actually had a chance of meeting Kai. It wasn't going to happen. Now, why do you say that, Clark? What makes you think that you never had a chance of meeting Kai? Before I get into any of that, let's backtrack a little bit. I want to ask all of you guys a simple question, though, before I begin, okay? Because this is going to be very important for the case that I'm building up. And also, I'm kind of doing a little bit of pre-cleanup here. Because there's an argument that I see a lot on the internet right now about the attendance of Streamer University. Chat, can anybody here tell me what is the purpose? What is the point? What is the end goal of Streamer University? Why does Kai put on Streamer University? What is it? You tell me. What is the reason? And there's bro. Wait, that's not bro.
Throwing shade at Kai, but as soon as I heard he was doing it again, I knew it was gonna be a fail. I had a similar experience with TwitchCon in 2024. Didn't like the event, but I met nice people.
TwitchCon's a different monster. Theodore, I appreciate the 1500. I don't even know what the 1500 ISK is, but thank you so much. Thank you for your dono. To become a streamer or improve, I don't know nothing about it personally. Entertainment, creating content gold. I would guess to try to help a small streamer become big streamers. Holy shit, ding, ding, ding. Trickster freaking gets it. I don't know how Trickster is the only person in chat that is able to understand this right now. It's not just for entertainment and content. No, wrong. Wrong. That's not the button I want. Wrong. Yes. When you go to stream, if you get accepted to Streamer University, you should be doing your best to be entertaining. Yes, you want to get in the spotlight. But the function of Streamer University is to benefit small content creators. And chat, when Kai advertised this event, who was it for? Who was the event for, chat? Let's make an adjustment here. Who are the people that need this opportunity the most? Small creators. Small streamers, small creators, right? That's who needs the opportunity the most. Not celebrities, Not Jason the Ween, not Lacey. Content creators that can already average 13,000 plus followers. Now, I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here with what I'm about to say. But Jason the Ween, all those, I know, and listen, no shade to any of those guys. I'm not here to attack. I'm not here to attack them on a personal level, or talk crap about them in general, because this isn't really their fault. But with all due respect to them, they were all the people that needed this opportunity the least. But like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's backtrack. Let me tell y'all the story of what happened, okay? Because we got a lot of people in the stream right now. More people that we're averaging more people right now, which real quick, shout out to everybody that's in chat right now. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody being here. So look, we got a lot of people in the stream right now that were not here the other day on my live stream. Some of you may have never seen me before. Like I said at the beginning of this, my goal here is not to clout chase and not to talk crap about Kai, but I do want to provide some constructive criticism, because there are a lot of things that were completely mishandled that put a lot of people's lives in danger, whether we want to talk about that or not. I'm just going to point that out. But let's rewind the clock. Let's go back in time. Glad to see the booby trap is still working as a W. So, stream last week. I believe it was Thursday evening. A little bit later than now. People are telling me, "Yo, Kai Cenat's doing in-person interviews." A lot of y'all in chat are like, "Clark, go. You're freaking out, bro." Has the audacity to donate $500 and be like, "Here's your plane ticket," which W to bro, right? Except you were $200 short. You were $200 short of my plane ticket, but that's okay. I love you. I appreciate the effort. Bro is $200 short of my plane ticket. Anyway, I told y'all I'll think about it. The moment I ended stream, I went to go buy my plane ticket, and my sister got me she found me a hotel near the campus. It was about an 8-minute drive away. So we were in good shape, okay? Had a pack. I was so, y'all know, or you may not know, whatever. I have been making content and working every day damn near for about a month now. I kind of need a rest. I'm definitely for surely taking a rest this weekend. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not making any content. Shit, I might not even upload a video. My 2 a day I'm supposed to be doing, I might not. I am burnt out, brother. Like, I'm really burnt. We're going to be streaming the rest of this week. I'll try to make whatever content I can. Afro, I'm going to need you to be clipping up stuff while we're from this stream. We should be putting out clips while I'm talking on the Clark Clips page, and I should be retweeting them as the stream is going. So please, if we get some good clips, find some good moments, let's get those up. And as well as some content that I can put out over the next few days. But at any rate, so I booked my flight. Turns out, for the first plane ticket that I got, I chose the wrong days. So I had to cancel that flight, rebook my flight. I was wondering why it was so damn cheap. Had to pay an additional $300 on top, or I had to pay $300 more than what I was originally expecting. Right? Found out the next day that I misspelled my name on the new plane ticket. Got that fixed with United. Tried to call and fix it with Delta. Delta wouldn't fix it. They had told me I had to call Expedia. Expedia wouldn't fix it. Called Delta back. Delta refused to fix it unless I paid $50. I will never fly Delta again as long as I live if I can stand it, because Delta sucks. United has now become my favorite airline. United Airlines, please sponsor me. Moving on. Anyway, couldn't change the name on my ticket. Whatever, fine. I messed up everything because I was in a rush and I was tired from working for 3 weeks straight. Whatever. Y'all don't care about that. That's just the way it was. But that's how the trip started. So that's why I don't like doing last minute stuff, because I'm scrambling. Like, I have to book a flight that's going to leave in less than 24 hours, and it just stresses me out. I'm not packed. I like planning my trips out a month in advance or months in advance. That way I know I'm going to go. But praise God and God bless all of you guys. I have the privilege of being able to afford to just book a flight like that and a hotel and jump on the damn plane. Brainy got his ticket same night. His plane landed like 45 minutes before mine. We met up at LAX, got into Uber Scoober. That was a 45-minute drive and a $70 Uber fee just to get to the hotel. And we got checked in, okay? Went out for some nice, delicious Korean barbecue, Wagyu beef. Amazing. We had a fantastic time. That's day one. Day two, that's where you guys come in, chat. Day two, chat. That's when we test out some IRL streams. We go to scope out the campus because Brandy and I are like, you know what? There's probably going to be a line of people. So this was my original plan, chat. I was thinking that there was actually going to be a long line already like wrapped around the block. And so my goal was to go to the line and try to find some people at the front, build some relationships with some people at the front. And I was going to offer them a deal. I was going to do this. I was going to be like, hey, bro, listen, me and my homie, we're trying to get in with y'all. If you're down, we're going to go to Walmart. We're going to buy drinks, food, chairs. We'll even get chairs for y'all so y'all don't have to be sitting all night. Maybe even some pizzas later. If you let us cut in line with you, we'll provide all this stuff for y'all. That was the plan. Providing value to other creators, okay? Making sure that if somebody's going to give me the privilege to cut in line with them, they need to get something out of that. I thought it was going to work well. So we get to the campus. When we get there, there's no line. We do see a group of dudes, and I don't think we were streaming at this point. We saw a group of dudes walking by. They're like, hey, you want to stream at university? And I'm like, yeah. What about you? Yeah. The cops made us all leave. What? Yeah, there's no line. Oh, shit. Really? Yeah. They told everybody to leave last night. Oh. Well, where's everybody supposed to meet up at? We don't know. Okay. Cool. Whatever. So, that gave me a bit of information. Okay, so we have no idea where the line's supposed to start, where everybody's going to be, but we do know that there's like Streaming University stragglers just wandering around, but the cops aren't letting anybody stay on campus overnight, which is kind of a W. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, that gives us a fair shot at getting to the front of the line if we're early enough. I mean, we're only 8-minute drive from the campus, so if we wake up early in the morning and get our happy asses down there, we should be relatively close to the front. Because even if somebody else has come to LA and is trying to get in line like we are, there's a good chance that we'll be closer than them and we'll also have transportation. Because a lot of these people, quite frankly, with all due respect, were broke. They didn't have any money because they're young kids or young teens, young adults, broke college students. I'll be honest, Brainy and I had a huge advantage. And as time progressed, more advantages would be given to us too. Or so we thought. We started walking around the campus. That's when we started streaming with y'all. Y'all, if you haven't seen the stream, we got all the streams up. I'm going to keep them up probably for a little while, but you can see all the Streaming University streams that we had. We met two core groups of people. The first group were those 3 kids that we met. They were goofy. They came from Arizona. They were really dope people, really kind people. One of them ended up being my cameraman. W to him. Oh, wait, here's my button. Shout out to him. All right, that's all the applause he's getting. That's enough. Really, really cool kids. I'm happy that I met them, right? We had a good time. Clippable moment. Walked a little bit more. Then we meet the 2 dudes from New Zealand. One of them was already living in the States because he was going to college, I believe. The other one was his friend that still lived in New Zealand. Imagine, and so here's the thing, chat, and this is what gets me, okay? Imagine for a minute. Imagine. You live in a place that doesn't exist, Australia, and you somehow dimension hop because you heard that the Kai Cenat is having Streamer University tryouts 2 days before you can reasonably get to like the first location. Because he couldn't make it to New York. New York was the next day. He ain't going to go from New Zealand to New York overnight. That's not possible. So his best chance was to go to LA. Going from New Zealand to LA is crazy. That is insanity. Bro literally took an interdimensional portal to get here just to have a shot at talking to Kai Cenat. Okay. He taught me that He taught me that dance, that cultural dance of his. That was a really dope moment. Him and the other dude were real sweet people. So happy to have met them. And that was going to be very important for later. We didn't know this yet, but that was going to be very important for later. So we do that. We walk around the campus, kind of get an idea of, the layout of everything. Cool. We move on. In stream. Y'all saw the food stream later. We did that. After that, Brainy and I, we went to Walmart. We checked out, we got some bags, or we got some chairs at Walmart for us to set our happy ass down the next day. And he got himself a little bag to put some stuff in, I think. So we were just chilling and vibing. Okay. Went back to the hotel. I forgot how I found this out. I think I was watching a video, but I found out that Kai he put out some kind of statement. I believe it was in his Discord where he was saying like, the location for Streamer University was going to be announced later. Or like not the location for Streamer University. The location on the campus for where people were going to go to be able to meet up was going to be announced later. He wasn't announcing that right away. So I was like, you know what, Brainy, we're probably going to we might as well probably just rest and just chill for a couple of nights. Or for a couple of nights. For a few hours before Kai announces all this stuff. I said he's either going to announce it like super late at night or super early in the morning. Either way, we've got some downtime. We go to bed. I set my alarm. We went to bed around like 10, maybe 11. I set my alarm for 5:45 in the a.m. My alarm goes off. I wake up, check my phone. I'm already 2 hours late because Kai posted all the details for where we needed to be on campus. Okay? I was like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, Brainy, we got to bounce. We got up, brushed our teeth real quick, got clean, got in the Uber, got our happy asses down there. There's already a decent sized line that's formed. So we're like at the back of this line. And as we're like in the back of the line, people are starting to come up. Like there's just like tons of people that are starting to come up anyway. We're like, from where we are to the front of the line, there's like, it's about 20, maybe 25 feet. So it's a good amount of people in front of us, but it didn't look too crazy. At least it wasn't until you got into the front, because when you get to the front, you find out that it wasn't a line. No. It was a conglomeration of people. An entire cornucopia of human beings all clustered together. We knew a Fortnite content creator, or Brainy knew a Fortnite content creator by the name of Hydra. It was a rectangle. It was actually more of a square. Thank you, Luke. Brainy knew a content creator by the name of Hydra. Okay, some of y'all may have seen Hydra's clips from the event. Hydra was at the front of the line. I told Brainy, go find Hydra, see if we can cut to the front. Brainy couldn't find Hydra, but he comes back. He's like, I couldn't see him, but the two dudes from New Zealand, the mythical land that doesn't exist, they're at the front of the line, bro. Oh shit. I said, he's like, if they're over there, if you want to go say something, I said, stay here. I go over. I'm like, bro, y'all made it. Good to see you. Yada, yada. Is it cool if we cut in line with you? They're like, yeah, man, come on. Just come on. I'm like, bet. I jump over the fence. I motion for Brainy to come over. Brainy comes over. He jumps over the fence. Now we're vibing. We're sitting there. And then we're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and start streaming the line. That's where you guys come in again. Now, this is where crap starts getting crazy. We're in line. And I'm going to be real. This is the first area where Kai screwed up royally. We're in line. There's no sign of security. There's just a bunch of random ass people trying to tell other people what to do. Move back! Hey, y'all gotta get in a single file line or they're gonna shut this shit down! Move the fuck back! Blah, blah, blah! Ain't nobody trying to budge. Not a single person in that entire section was trying to budge, bro. Not a single person. So, not only was no one trying to budge and kind of make a single file line, me, Brainy, New Zealand 1 and 2, and my cameraman, who just so happened to be at the front too, he popped up, and he's kicking it with us. We all just happen to be scrunched right up there together, chilling, talking, vibing, on stream. The problem was, when everybody heard that the line started where we were at, instead of like kind of like moving down and back and around and kind of evening out everything, everybody pushed up against us. New Zealand dude, I could tell, was getting claustrophobic. He's like, yo, Clark, bro, is there any way you can like move up a bit, mate? I'm like, dog, I can't do it. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to push 400 people like to the side? I can't. There's nothing I can do. I am sorry. Like, I heard like a girl scream. Like, the people were just like getting crushed because everybody was so hungry to get to Kai. At that point, the cops start showing up. You know how many cops were there, chat? Do you want to know how many cops brought their happy asses down to do crowd control? It was 4, chat. 4 freaking cops came down to help out with this shit show. You know what I saw? I saw police officers, bro. I saw a bunch of cops. Had batons, flashlights, maybe a taser or something. Maybe a pistol. I don't know. Everybody. Cops over here. Hey! Hey! Y'all got it. The line started. Y'all gotta move, man. Come on, you guys. Y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta move, man. Y'all need, come on, y'all. They're gonna shut this down if you guys can't get it together. Move. You know what that did? You want to know what that did, chat? That just made people more aggressive. From there, people start freaking the fuck out. Man, fuck that shit. Nah, bro, I'm getting in there. Nah, bro, I'm gonna knock everybody the fuck out right now, bro. You can't tell me what the fuck to do. I'm like, bro, if y'all, and so now I'm starting to get a little concerned. I'm starting to get a little worried because it's like, yo, people are getting like aggressive, like crazy aggressive. We're scrunched in, and the other thing is too, we're like scrunched in there. Next thing I know, brother, out of nowhere, hey, fuck you, Nick. What the fuck? A water bottle gets thrown at my head. It's on stream if you don't believe me. Whole ass water bottle, brother, hits me in the side of my dome. I don't even get mad at this point. I'm so tired. I'm going off like 3.5 hours of sleep. I'm like, what is today? Brainy's like, what the fuck is going on? And New Zealand guys are like, bro, this doesn't happen in the mythical land of Australia. Is this how y'all are? I'm like, brother, unfortunately, yeah, some people are like this. And look, I'm going to say something now that might get me canceled. This might be a little controversial, okay? What I saw that day is one of the worst displays of how black people act in my entire life. That was every negative stereotype about us. That is not a good representation of black culture. However, and this is the part that really sucks, I expected this before I set my black ass on the plane. I knew, and I don't normally say this word on stream chat, but niggas do not listen. Niggas do not take orders. Niggas cannot keep their mouths shut. And niggas do extra shit to be wild for no goddamn reason. Niggas will be like, hey, if I can't get into the front of the line, none of y'all niggas can. Fuck you. No, it's not on TikTok, Loot. You think I'm streaming on that shit today? There's no way I can tell this story on stream, bro. There's no way I can tell this story on stream on TikTok. This shit would have been shut down 20 minutes ago. Holy shit. Niggas do not listen. They like to throw water bottles. And you know what? That's not even the craziest part. They These motherfuckers were throwing chairs and pillows. I felt that honestly, the pillow is the one that scared me the most. I now understand what Ms. Kiff meant when he was talking about how Emaru used to throw pillows and plushies. I get it. That shit was terrifying. You ever been in a mob full of angry black people throwing pillows? Fuck that, brother. I might low-key have PTSD from them pillows getting thrown, bro. I'm not gonna fold you right now. My racism is low-key flaring up right now. Aaron, I'm gonna need you to contain that shit, okay? Aaron, I need you to calm down, okay? Chad, this is not a justification to start throwing slurs out at people, okay? But I'm just letting y'all know right now. This is some of the most ridiculous. There's so many words I want to say right now, but even on Twitch, it'll probably get my stream shut down. All I will say is this was niggas being niggas for like multiple hours. And then there's bro with $2.
Clark got cooked by some pillows.
You just wanted to say that word, didn't you? That's not even that. Bro, you got me sweating and shit, bro. Oh my God. Man. So anyway, everybody was acting ignorant. I'm hearing people talking about fighting. I'm not going to, chat, I'm not joking. I genuinely thought for a little bit there that somebody was either going to get hurt like really badly or lose their life. I honestly thought somebody might shoot that bitch up. I was genuinely concerned. I thought that maybe we might get. Is this still on? Okay, it's still on. I thought that genuinely the whole thing might get shot up because, quite frankly, security was ass, and I'll get into more of that in a minute. But like the whole shit was unorganized, bro. It was so bad. And for Kai to have the money that he does, this is unacceptable.
I'm so sorry you had to go through all that.
Aaron, listen, thank you for the $2. Don't apologize, okay? Because honestly, let's be real. At the end of the day, this is a hilarious story that I get to tell, and we're going to make a bunch of clips out of this. You know, see, the same way that Kai leveraged me and all the other thousands of creators that showed up for content is the same way I'm going to leverage him by the end of this. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Moving on. So, I'm now looking at my watch, and this motherfucker says, like, 7:15 in the morning. Granted, we got there at, like, 6:20 in the morning. Brother, it's been 40 minutes. 40 minutes, and this is already how people are acting. We might be cooked. Like, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through the day. Because people are just this crazy right now. I was like, bro, I was even yelling like, bro, y'all are going to get this shit shut down. Y'all got to chill. Holy crap.
Looks like a job
Muffin Man, thank you for $5.
NGL the Kai Senate event felt like the Bondox KFC episode.
Oh my God, I was literally thinking that too. Holy shit. Yes, it felt just like that Boondocks episode. Yes. It was just ignorant shit. It was a bunch of ignorant shit. Now, granted, I did pull up with this fried chicken microphone, and did an Uncle Rex impersonation, so I did contribute to the ignorance, but the difference is that my ignorance doesn't hurt or jeopardize anybody's safety. Moving on. We are sitting in line. Okay, I pull out a chair. I'm talking with some of the other dudes in line. There's a couple of really cool guys I met, these Christian dudes. They wanted to teach a class on how to stay mentally and spiritually pure at Streaming University, while also, dealing with the struggles of content creation. I thought it was a fantastic and beautiful idea as a believer myself, even though I know my Lord forgive me, my tongue is very foul today, but I got to give them a round of applause because I thought that their mission, the class that they wanted to teach was great. I thought it was a fantastic idea. I did. I really did. It was like us, New Zealand, the Christian dudes, little mini cameraman, junior guy, and then a couple other chill people were with us. But yeah, it was an interesting group of people. Now, something I want to point out at this junction before I get to because I'm just letting y'all know we haven't got to the crazy shit yet. The crazy shit hasn't started. Okay, This is not, we're not at the part where this is a scam yet, but what I'm trying to do here is paint a picture for you so you understand how screwed up this whole thing was. Because none of this should have happened, but I'll get to that in a minute. So, God. We started talking to other creators in line, and I started, like, Brainy and I are asking people, like, oh, so how long you been making content for, and, like, how often do you post, and what kind of content do you make? You know what we got in return? Oh, I make some, I make videos. What kind of videos? Just like random stuff. Okay, well, how often do you post? I mean, I haven't really posted in about a month, but also you ain't consistent. I mean, well, I got 2 kids, and let's like, oh, okay. All right, man. So what that showed me was, motherfucker, the vast majority of these people here in line, they're not even hardcore content creators. These people aren't even serious about the content game. I'm thinking about everything that we've gone through over the last 5 years, and I'm like, I'm overqualified for this motherfucker. Brainy's overqualified. Brainy posts like 30 videos a week. I'm not even joking, across multiple pages, multiple platforms. I got my shit up to, on average, 2 times a day, 7 days a week, right? And stream for y'all like 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes 6 or 7. Shut up, chat. But I stream multiple times. I'm streaming to y'all multiple times a week. And so, like, I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, y'all just, y'all don't even want to, you don't even really deserve, y'all don't deserve to be here. I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? And it's not because you're lesser than me as a person, like on a human level, but it's because you're not actually dedicated to the craft of content creation. And as a matter of fact, it got even crazier. I'm kind of, spoilers for earlier, but like this kind of applies to the whole conversation. Even when we got inside earlier, I overheard some girls behind me saying, I know everybody out here trying to get their moment, like they trying to meet Kai, and make it into Stream University, but I just want a picture. Bitch, a picture? You want a picture? Bitch, I flew my black ass out here on my community's dime, sleep deprived, going off of 3 weeks worth of work, being committed to this content game for 5 years, and you coming all the way out here to take up somebody's time because you want a fucking picture? See? Another example of the caliber of person that came to this shit. The other thing, too, that I thought about, 2 things I thought about in line was, 1, if there are so many people that are willing to get rowdy like this and risk their chance at meeting Kai, like at the front of the line, or the front of this hodgepodge of this conglomeration of people that we have here. There's so many people willing to risk that. None of these people are probably too serious about content creation either. The other thing I thought about, too, and this kind of ties into like why everybody say like, oh, you just mad because you didn't get to meet Kai and all that. You don't understand. I was already, before any of the bullshit happened, I was already having doubts because I was thinking, if this is the kind of crowd that Kai attracts, if these are the kind of people that are going to be in Streamer University, and I know that the people that were there aren't the only type of people that get into stream that are going to be in Streamer U, but I was sitting there thinking, like, these people are not going to be interested in taking a class about relationship building and authenticity. They're not interested in hearing lectures and speeches about humility and putting others before themselves, and making sure that when you collaborate with content creators above or below you, that you make sure that everyone's treated well and everybody benefits as a result of being around you, being a blessing to other creators. They don't care about that shit. These people could give a fuck about that. Now, granted, the people that make it into Streamer U typically hopefully are going to be more serious. But then again, especially after what I saw, Kai likes to meme a lot, but once again, spoilers, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, we're sitting in line. It's about, 3 hours in. It's around 9:30. And all of a sudden, all I hear is, they open up the gate! Go! Ah! Everybody starts rushing. We're like, what the fuck? People are just like rushing us. We're like, fuck! We had to get up and start moving. One of the New Zealand guys was in the chair. He jumped up out of the chair, left it behind. I shit you not. I took a second to look back. My chair that I brought got trampled in seconds, bro. That shit got demolished. People ran over that motherfucker. I'm like, oh, fuck no. We're going, like, Brainy's already ahead of me. We're trying to get to this new section. So I'm rushing over to like this new area where like there's canopies and stuff. We're under the canopies in the shade. The crew is all there, right? Next thing I know, they put a gate up and they block off they block off a certain section of the content creators. Like there's a line blocked off, right? And then basically we're at this point. What I'm seeing is that, holy shit, I'm part of the first group of people that is actually going to get inside the building. I might have a chance to meet Kai. This is my moment. Foolish, foolish Negro. You have no chance of meeting Kai Cenat. That was the bait. But we're not there yet. See, here's the thing, chat, okay? I knew when I talked, this is, like I said, going back to when I talked to y'all yesterday or last Thursday, I knew that the chances of me meeting Kai were very slim. But that was mostly because I'm thinking, well, we're probably not going to be the first ones there. There are probably people literally lining up in LA right now, like 3 days before this shit even starts. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get to the front. He's gonna be able. In my mind, I'm thinking Kai's gonna be able to get through a lot of people, but if you're gonna have to be part of the first group, and if not, you're probably not gonna see him. But you have to understand, like we were part of the first group of people that got in. Like they cut off the line, and like we were there. We were in that giant rectangle, circle, double hexahedron, whatever the fuck. We were there in that motherfucker, okay? And so I'm making like, oh yeah, no, we made it. Brady and I are excited. We're celebrating, popping champagne bottles. I'm pulling out the microphone, doing Uncle Ruckus impersonations, interviewing the Cat in the Hat and the Lorax. Everybody, we got people vibing with it. Like it was a good time. Everybody's happy. We're all there. We're getting it. We're gonna meet Kai. Yeah. You foolish, foolish Negroes. You're not getting in to meet Guy. But once again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, after interviewing people and vibing and encouraging people and talking, y'all saw the stream. If you didn't, stream's still up. Go look at it. We were having a good time with everybody in chat. Or everybody in the, or not everybody in chat. Well, everybody in chat, everybody in line, and the line's moving quick. Like we're getting inside. I was like, oh my god, thank God. We've been outside for several hours. I had to pee real bad. Brady's got to pee. Everybody got to pee real bad. We've been holding it. Towards the end of where I was in line, there were people that started to hand out water bottles to us after being outside in the heat for like 3 hours. I think we got inside by like 11:30, 11:40, somewhere in that area. But we got inside. First thing we went to do was we went inside to go pee. And then we went to go sit down, okay? Right? Now, this is the part where everything starts to turn into a scam. I go back and sit down with Brainy. New Zealand guys are in front of us. We're just vibing. My cameraman couldn't get in because he didn't have an ID, and he was also under 18. He was very young. But shout out to him. He's a really cool dude. I hope he continues to pursue content creation. He seems like a really nice kid. His friends made it in, but he didn't. He was severely underprepared. I felt bad for him, but there's nothing I can do about it. So anyway, we get inside, chat. And actually, I think I still have it with me. When you first walk inside, they give you a raffle ticket. Okay? Now I still have it right here. Let me show y'all this. I got a raffle ticket. The last 3 digits on this bad boy, you can't see it because the camera won't focus, but the last 3 digits on that say 410. So I was the 410th person to receive a ticket. This is very important. They didn't tell us what the tickets were for. They just handed us a raffle ticket and said, hey, take this ticket, don't lose it. Please go inside. They're going to tell you where to sit down. Like I said, we went to go pee, then we came back, and we go sit down, okay? We're sitting down. We're chilling. We're vibing. This dude comes out with the mic, yo, yo, yo. Hey, we appreciate y'all, everybody. We need you to take your seats. Take your seats. Yo, everybody take your seats. Sit down, sit down. We chilling. Once again, repeat after me, chat. Niggas don't listen. They don't. Everybody.
Unbelievable.
A-Star, thank you for the 5 months, brother. That's all the applause you're getting. They don't listen, chat. They do not listen. Yeah, Luke, don't repeat that. This is inside. This is inside now, okay? So we've got people continually coming in. We got people sitting down. There's so when you get in, it's a gymnasium. So you got bleachers on either side of the wall. Basketball hoops are up, and then there's 2 rows of chairs lined up, right? Or 2 big rows of chairs lined up. So I'm 410. Brainy's like 411. New Zealand guy's like 408, 409. They're in front of us. We when we sat down, I think we only took about 1/6. We only took about 1/6 of that section. The bleachers were full on one side. They were empty on the other side. Our row wasn't even full yet. So I'm like, holy shit, they gotta fill this whole auditorium. Even though my thing says 410, like we're some of the first people in here still. I'm like, we got a good shot at this. We got this. You stupid, stupid Negro. No, you don't. So, people are still being rowdy. This black lady comes to the front. I guess she's like the dean, main director, whatever the hell, head of the school. She's telling everybody to respect her house, behave, yada, yada, do all this. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, to talk your shit. Yeah, tell everybody to calm down. People are getting in. People are kind of, we're kind of settling in. About an hour and 20 minutes go by. We still don't know what's going on. Every few minutes, they keep telling us to take our seats, take our seats, take our seats. Most people aren't listening, but people are kind of starting to settle down a little bit. We're getting excited. Everybody's kind of on edge because we're waiting for Kai to show up. We know that they start at 1 o'clock. It's about a little after noon now. So we're like, okay, Kai should be here soon. 1 o'clock rolls around. Kai's still not here. Okay. So now it's like he's eating into time, but I'm like, you know what? It's fine because, and so here's the thing. This is what a lot of people have to understand. On my original Twitter post, people are asking me like, you think Kai's got enough time to get through all those people? It's not about getting through all those people. Okay. It's not about getting through everybody. Kai's not going to get through everybody. But what you also have to understand is Kai isn't going to get through everybody. And the reason for that is because a lot of these people, as I established earlier, are not serious. They're just there for a photo of Kai or to clout chase or whatever. Kai has, so the way that the interviews worked, and I'm getting ahead of myself a bit, but the way the interviews worked was Kai had a dude that would screen you and ask you, why do you think you should be a streamer? Depending on your answer, he would either deny or accept you. And then he would send you to a second room where you would fill out an application. And then from there, you would wait. You would wait to talk with Kai. Because of this, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so like, even though we're 410, out of the other 409 people in front of me, maybe 50 of them are actually serious, and a good chunk of these people should be sent home. If Kai is doing what he's supposed to do to ensure that everybody gets a fair shot, it ain't about getting through everybody. It's about weeding out the bullshit to get to the gems, which Kai should easily be able to do. I mean, he's got the people here for it. But let's get a little ahead of myself. Some interesting things started to happen. Okay? Some really crazy things started to happen. Number one, a bunch of celebrity content creators started to show up. Jason the Ween popped in. Lacey was on his way. There was another dude, I forget it, his name is a black dude. He does skits. He's funny as hell. he came through. Every time some big content creator comes into the room, everybody just like rushes them. Everybody's trying to get clout chase. Everybody's trying to like jump up and down and freak out and get in their frame and be in their video. All this shit, right? Then everybody gets told to sit down. Nobody listens. They eventually disperse, and then everybody gets back up again to go. To go like haggle the content creator. Okay, this happened a couple of times. Eventually, those creators leave. We're all kind of sitting down. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? They probably want everybody to sit down and be calm because Kai's going to arrive. He's going to explain how everything's going to work. He's going to thank us for being here, explain the process, say he's going to try to get as many people as possible, yada, yada, break down how the whole process works, okay? I think 1:20 p.m. rolls around, and Kai shows up. Kai shows up, chat. And you know what happened? This motherfucker said like 2 words. He came in with a microphone and said, yo, 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 what's up? Everybody rushes to the front. Me and Brainy are standing there like, what the fuck is going on, bro? We're just staying in our seat, but everybody's rushing to the front, trying to get to Kai. Oh my God, Kai! Ah! People freaking out, bitches passing out and shit. It was like a Michael Jackson. Okay, it wasn't that crazy, but people going losing their mind, bro. Everybody's just rushing to the front. Me and Brandon are standing there like, bro, these are freaking clout goblins. Holy shit. Like, dog, relax. And at that moment, I'm like, most of y'all shouldn't be getting in, bro. You're ahead of me, and that's fine, but it's like, you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance. It's going to be a lot of BS. You don't have a chance. Or so I thought. So, Kai, everybody tries to rush to Kai. Kai says like 2 sentences, leaves. Okay. I mean, I still don't know what's happening, but hey, we saw Kai. Okay, cool. I guess he's gonna go do the interviews now. All right, fine. So we all go. Most of us are sitting down. People, kind of excited, kind of restless. Kai was in there. Like another 20 minutes or so goes by. It's like, at this point, it's like 1:40, maybe almost 2 p.m. And in my mind, I'm like, Kai went until like somewhere between 7 and 9 p.m. in New York. So that means we've got roughly 5 hours, maybe 5 hours on the low end, 7 hours on the longer end to do this. But that's a lot of like 5 to 7 hours. Let's say it's only 5 hours is a lot of time. You could get through a few hundred applicants in that amount of time between screening and actually like sitting down and talking to people. You could absolutely get through over 400. Okay. You could absolutely do that. Repeat after me, chat. Or so you thought. You stupid. Don't say this last part. Negro. So, let's say it's about 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock rolls around. All right, y'all, listen up. So we got the first ticket numbers. All right, first ticket numbers. I need numbers 1 through 10. 1 through 10, just go over here, line up. 1 through 10, go over here, line up. Also, listen, I'm going to need y'all to sit down. I know y'all want to go to the bathroom and everything. There ain't no more going to the bathroom. Excuse me? There ain't no more going to the bathroom. No more. No more going to the bathroom. I need y'all to just sit down. And if you ain't group 1 through 10, I just need you to sit down. Sit down in your seat. Don't move. Just chill. We're going to start calling up people. Just line up over there. Now, listen, my dumb ass, I don't know why they're calling up people. I'm like, okay, so are these like raffle tickets or like what? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? What are we doing? I have no idea what the hell is happening right now. He's just calling up people that got raffle tickets. Are these for interviews? Are we getting prizes? Because the thing is, I saw some people, what looked like some people came back through the doors with like stuff in their hand. So I was like, oh shit, are people getting prizes before we talk to Kai? My dumbass is still thinking that we're going to get like some kind of presentation or something explaining how all this shit works. They get us for being there. No. Dude just calling up people to stand in line over there while everybody else is jumping up and down, being rowdy. It was chaos, chat. Unorganized. It was insanity. Okay? Absolute insanity. About the first 5 groups get called, so that's 50 people. And I'm starting to notice a pattern. By the way, I forgot to mention this too. By this point, by the time that they started calling up groups, we noticed the doors were closed. So the people that were outside in line, they weren't letting any more people inside. They cut it off. If I had to guess, there were probably about 1,000 to maybe 1,200 people in the auditorium altogether. If I was 410, there was probably about 1,000 to 1,200 altogether. And I'm thinking, my dumbass again, how dare I? I'm thinking because there's so many, because they let so many people in. They're like, they might not get through everybody, but they're not going to let in a crazy number of people that they know are not going to get, called, right? I'm not going to even say it this time. You guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm thinking right now, okay? You know how this is working. So, we're sitting there. We're being told over and over again to sit down. We are told not to go to the bathroom until they create a line for people to go to the bathroom. They said that they were going to do that. They said, we're going to be providing, water and food for y'all later on. So just everybody just please sit down, be calm, be chill. This is where the bullshit starts to happen. Okay. So, remember how earlier I told you about 50 people in, I started to notice a pattern? This is the pattern I noticed. At this point, for the first 50, it was about what felt like 20 to 25 minutes, a new group would be called, but it's only a group of 10. So we've been sitting here for like 2 hours now, and only 50 people have been called. And it's like, I'm starting to put two and two together, like, we going to shit like super duper uber slow, like dumb slow, right? Like ridiculously slow. And so I'm starting to do the math in my head. I'm like, at this rate, like we might get through like 210, like we might get through like high 200s, low 300s, but at this rate, 400 ain't getting through. And also Brady. By this point, Brady's also pointed out to me, Clark, I think the people that are getting called up are getting called in for interviews because they're not coming back. I'm like, they're not, but yeah, he was right. They weren't getting called back. So people that were getting called up for interviews. Then Brainy pulled up his phone. He's like, bro, freaking so-and-so is here, and this content creator is here, and Lacey's pulling up, and this person, and they got a separate room for like the big content creators. Some of the smaller people are getting let in over there, but it's really a room for the, for the big creators. It's like, okay, so they got a bunch of the larger content creators here in a separate room, and then they got another room for the smaller ones. Okay, like cool, that's fine, whatever. All right. But then I started to realize, like, wait, hold on a second. I started going on Twitter and Twitch. And I'm like, Kai's interviewing a lot of big creators. And this line ain't moving. And then Brainy noticed something really important. He's like, yo, the people from the first few groups are still sitting there. A lot of these guys haven't seen Kai. Like, they're still in line. Some of them are still in line to meet the dude that approves you to get to fill out the application so you have a chance to talk to Kai. We ain't getting through that many small creators. And this is when the gears started turning in my head. When I was like, oh shit. I didn't fully commit to this conclusion yet, but it was the sinking feeling that started to well up in my pit. Did Kai play us? Did Kai somehow leverage the publicity from all these people wanting to have a shot at talking to him for generating hype and free views for Streaming University? Because then I thought from another angle. Wait, hold on a second. Kai's not streaming this. Kai's not streaming any of this at all, right? So that's weird. I know he's going to turn it into a YouTube video, but why isn't Kai streaming it? And then that's when I realized something, Chad. Kai doesn't have to stream it because everybody else is. The big creators, some of the celebrities, and then the smaller creators. Even if there's a bunch of creators smaller than me that go, let's say you got a few hundred to 1,000, you got hundreds of people streaming this event, them being in line, people documenting this process. That is free views. You will generate billions of views by the end of this. just because you had a bunch of content creators. So keep in mind, from different niches as well. I talked to creators for the Just Chatting scene. I talked to people from Call of Duty. I talked to people from variety game, all this shit, right? All these different content creators from different parts of the internet. And I realized, like, everybody, no matter what part of the internet you're from, there's so many different people trying to apply for Streamer U that are bringing their communities and their followings to document this process, because this is a big moment for a lot of us, right? Huh. But nah, Kai wouldn't do that to us, bro. Like, okay, yeah, there's like 5 or 6 celebrities, but Kai wouldn't do that to us.
Kai could only have gotten this idea from Benjamin Netanyahu.
Thank you for $5, Aaron. I'm gonna take that. Appreciate you. Okay, that's all the applause you're getting. Stop that. So, what I realized after sitting there for about 5 hours was this whole goddamn thing was rigged. Because when it took us, like, I want to say 3.5, maybe almost 4 hours just to get into the hundreds. So we're talking like, it's like, what, 4:30, almost 5 p.m., and we're just now getting into the hundreds. And so I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, brother, there's like, they got to get through another 300 people before they even get to me. But then I started thinking about this from a different angle. And I started thinking about all the content creators that took time out of their day or their lives to come to this thing. Because the thing is, it's not really even just about me. It's about the other creators that showed up, that pulled up to this thing. Like the guys from New Zealand, or those young kids that probably spent the last bit of their high school money to go out on a little summer trip to try to meet Kai Cenat and get into Streamer University. You know, or some of the other people that, you know, had to leave their kids in daycare. One lady brought her own daughter to the goddamn Streamer University thing, bro. It was like, it was wild. It was just a wild time. But as time progressed, we're just moving too slow. And I'm like, why the hell are we going through everything so slow? And it's because Kai prioritized celebrities and large content creators. I want to point something out to you, okay? Because this is a point that was brought up to me. A couple of points that were actually brought up to me and other people online. There were people saying like, oh, y'all should be grateful that Kai gave you an opportunity to network. This wasn't about meeting Kai. This is about you having the chance to network and make good clips and good memories with other people. Bitch, no, it wasn't. That's a fucking lie. God bless the New Zealand guys. They're beautiful people. But I didn't go there to meet them. I went there to have a shot at Streamer University, though I knew it was slim. But here's the issue, and none of us realized it until it was too late. We weren't there for the purpose of actually being able to meet Kai. The majority of us were there to fill slots, to look like a big number, so Kai could show off how many people he could pull for this fucking event. Why do I say that? Well, let's look at what happened and who he spent the most amount of time with. All these goofy ass clips of Rakai or Lacey or whomever fucking jumping over tables and counters and knocking over pens and pencils and desks and shit. Security guards picking up people. Look like an episode of iCarly. Shout out to Brainiac for making that observation. People getting thrown down the hallway, shoes getting thrown. That takes up time, bro. And it's time that's being taken up by creators that have already made it. They don't have to be here. Think about it like this.
A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
Think about it like this, Chad, okay? Lacey, Jason the Ween, fucking, bro, Ray J was there. I didn't even know Ray J was there, dog. Ray J, I didn't find that out till this morning. Ray J was in the building. Why the fuck is an event that's designed to help small content creators out hosting Ray J, who I know for a fact has Kai Cenat's personal number? Why is he skipping the line, spending probably 5 to 10 minutes with Kai to clip farm some content when you could be giving that time slot to other creators? You got all these other people coming in, tearing up the room, after Kai's interviewing them for like 7 minutes to get thrown out. And guess what they got to do? They got to reset the room so the next big content creator can come in and tear it up. If I had to guess from everything I've seen, there's probably like 20 different celebrities / big content creators that came through, and that took up probably 80% of the time. But it gets worse than that, chat. And this is why I say the shit was rigged. There were content creators that came in after us. Okay? So I'm 410. There was a girl in line. I met her. Y'all, she was on stream. The girl that Kai found a couple of years ago that had been streaming, she's been streaming every day for like over like 1,300 days or something. You saw it. She was in line behind us. Well, guess what happened? She skipped the fucking line and got in before all of us. They handed her a ticket just for them to be like, nah, go ahead and go on in. That's bullshit. So even though she's not like a super big creator, she's not part of the LRW, AMP, clique or any of that shit, she still skipped the line because she had it in with Kai. Yes, Afro, really. So when I tell you that the shit's a fucking scam, believe me. But that's not the only creator that happened to. You had creators that were sitting in the room waiting for like 2+ hours in the room right before they met Kai, and were getting skipped by creators that came in after them. They're not even big ones. They're not the Lacey's. So that gives Kai plausible deniability. Oh, well, I did help some small creators. What do you mean? We got some small, we just couldn't get through everybody. Motherfucker, listen. If you had have actually given a fuck about the small creators, if this was actually about the small creators, there's a lot of other shit you could have done to help those small creators out. And shit, that was the bare fucking minimum, Kai. Bare minimum. But I'm not gonna get to that yet. Because of the people saying, oh, you think you could have got to more people? You think you could have ran this better than Kai? Fuck yes, absolutely. I could have definitely ran a better operation than Kai Cenat did this entire time. Listen, I understand that this is Kai's event, and Kai can do what he wants with it, right? That's fine. But don't advertise this as an opportunity for small creators to come and talk to you, to pitch their ideas for Streamer University to have a better chance of getting in, because that's not what it was. It was designed, this was a publicity stunt for you to clip farm with your friends. You know what the fucked up part is about it, bro? You could have done that separate. But instead, you advertise this as something for small creators. So people from New Zealand, a place that doesn't even exist, dimension hopped, got there after a 16-hour flight, camped for 2 days just to not get in. Now you want to tell me this shit's not a scam? But it gets worse, chat. I'm not even fucking done. Remember when I told y'all that... Fuck, I'm getting so worked out. I can't remember the fuck. Hold on, I gotta drink some water, man. Let me calm down. Ah! Remember when I told y'all that the argument that was given to people like me is that, oh, well, this wasn't about Kai meeting Kai. This is the network and all this other shit. They stopped us from networking, chat. Remember that dude with the microphone I told y'all about? You know what he did? Hey, man, I need y'all to sit down. People were getting up. Like, we're like 6 hours into this bitch, right? We had people getting up to go talk to other people, not even just to like be disruptive. Just like, we've been sitting for 6 hours and you've only gone through like 120 people. So people are trying to make the most out of the event, but you're telling us to sit down and not talk to other people, not get up and socialize and move around. You're telling us to sit down. So that's also bullshit. Also, you prevented people from going to the bathroom. And not only did you prevent people from going to the bathroom, when you eventually did make a line for people to go to the bathroom, you didn't announce it. That line just popped up while you're simultaneously telling people to sit the fuck down. So people like me and Brainy that had to go to the bathroom didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was weird. And then you only let 2 people go to the bathroom at a time. Keep in mind, we were already outside for 4 hours in the sun, almost getting trampled. almost getting bottles thrown in our face and chairs, and God forbid the fucking pillows, chat. The fucking pillows. God forbid the pillows. So we went through all of that to be pushed inside a building like cattle, not being given any clarification to how this process worked, and told, hey children, sit the fuck down. Don't do anything. Be quiet. Stop getting up. There were fucking dance battles being formed. When listen, chat, y'all know me, okay? I see a dance battle, I'm running in that bitch. You know what happened when I went in? You know what happened? They cut off the dance battle, chat! I was about to destroy every motherfucker in there. And you know what happened? They said, everybody sit your happy black ass down. There will be no more dance battling today. I was about to cook everybody. It would have been over. We even tried to start a second one. It was going to be a 2v2. Me and the Christian dude that I met earlier and these other two dudes. We were about ready to have a crump battle. The dude with the... Hey, man, no, bro. Y'all got to sit back down, bro. Y'all got to sit back down. Sit down, dog. Y'all got to sit down, bro. I need y'all to calm down. So, me, who's trying to clip farm and make the most out of this trip and network and get some clips in, no, sit your fucking ass down. You want to know what's even crazier than being told to sit down? Then to not being able to clip farm, to not being able to network, to not being able to go to the bathroom or being told that the bathroom line is opening, to only letting 2 people go to the bathroom at a time. Brainy hadn't eaten since 4 p.m. the day before. He went out to go find a vending machine. And you know what they did? The cops told him, no, you can't use the vending machine. Remember earlier when I told you that they were going to be supplying food and water? They didn't supply any food. And they barely supplied any fucking water either, chat. So, Kai Cenat and his rich ass and all his big millionaire friends and celebrities were over there making content, keying it up, having a good time, wasting everyone's fucking time, while my friends and all the other content creators that spent the last 3 days of their life preparing for this shit were trapped in a room, treated like cattle, told to shut the fuck up, sit down, not allowed to go to the bathroom, all for the purpose of eventually being told, hey guys, Kai didn't have enough time to see anybody. We're sorry. I'm going to get to that motherfucker in a minute too. I'm going to get to that one in a minute too, bro. I'm getting so pissed off just like thinking about this all over again, okay? But Brady tried to get food. He was like, bro, I'm starting to get dizzy, dog. Like he's like, I got to do something. They blocked him from getting to the vending machine. Chat. So, wrap this piece of shit up. It's about 6:20. Okay. Brainy had heard a rumor that Kai was shutting everything off at 7. I was thinking there's a chance it might go till 9, but at this point, they've only gotten through 140, 150 some odd people, which reminds me, do y'all remember that content creator I mentioned earlier, Hydra, the Fortnite guy? Y'all remember him? Okay. Hydra, in case you don't know, bought somebody else's ticket. Somebody that had a earlier point in the line that he did. I think Hydra was like in the 150 range. When Hydra's group was called, because by this point I was timing it. They had started to pick up the pace, which gave me some hope earlier. But what I noticed is that like it went from like every 20 minutes to like every 15 minutes they were calling a new group, and then it went back to every 20. But Hydra's group was the last group I heard called that night. That was at about 5:30 p.m. Chat, I tracked this shit. Okay, we sat down like good little boys for an hour. Barring the dance battle, of course, that I couldn't get into. But we sat like good little boys for an hour, sitting down in our chairs, all for Brainy to pull up Hydra's stream and be even like, bro, Hydra hasn't moved. Hydra was in the exact same spot that he was in an hour earlier. So just for context, this was the line to talk to the guy to get into the room so you could get... so you could get the fill out the form to talk to Kai. Hydra, they were just sitting in line. Yeah, he spent $1,300. Yes, he's like spent $1,300 on the ticket. Hydra was standing in line for about an hour before the line even started to move. Okay, when the line eventually did move, Hydra did his pitch, and he moved on to the other room. Now, what are me and Brainy doing around this time? When I saw that Hydra had been sitting there for an hour, I'm like, brother, we ain't getting in. Brainy, we're not getting in. By this point, we knew that we got played. We got played, okay? We got played. Kai played us. He did. Because he spent all that time with celebrities. He spent a bunch of time with celebrities and other content creators that, quite frankly, could have just given him a phone call and asked to be in Streaming University. Or if Kai wanted to, I'll save that for a minute. I'll say that for the end. I'll say that for what Kai should have done at the end. I'm not there yet. Okay. Brainy is like, you know what? He said, I'm gonna just go up and ask the guy with the microphone. He said, I'm gonna just go and ask the dude like what he thinks, if there's gonna be like any chance at us even getting in. You know? I'm like, if you can, you want, bro. Like we both knew that it wasn't that guy's decision, but Brainy went over to talk to him. And I'm looking at Brainy having a conversation with the guy from a distance, and I'm just seeing like this is not going well. Brainy comes back. He sits down like, what happened? Brainy's like, that guy was a dick, dude. I'm like, what do you mean? Not shocking, but he's like, I asked him. I'm like, hey man, just level with me. Like, what do you think our chances are of like us being able to get in? Like, you think we'll be able to, like, are we gonna be able to go? He's like, I don't know, man. Shit, you could go right now if you want. And Brady's like, yeah, like, bro, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm just saying, like, just level with me, man. Like, do you think there's even a chance? Listen, man, I can shut this motherfucker down right now. I can shut this bitch down right now if I wanted to. This motherfucker been telling us to sit down for almost 6-7 hours at this point, and he's talking to Brainy like this, bro. This is after almost getting trampled. This is after getting a bottle thrown in my face. This is after chairs and pillows being thrown. This is after standing out in the sun for 3 hours. This is after making it inside, being told not to pee, being told not to get up, having my dance battle ruined, being told to sit down. So, chat, I want to basically paint a picture for you, okay? If hypothetically, if everybody had have done what this guy told us to do, we all would have sat down in our seats silently, waited 10 people at a time to get our turns taken patiently, see the larger content creators come in, parade around, walk out, go to talk to Kai while we stood in line. Well, some of us stood in line for like 2 or 3 hours, maybe more, to talk to Kai. While the rest of us sat down there and to be like, hey, I'll be patient, sit down for, well, if you had to stay the entire time, 9 hours. 9 hours. 9 fucking hours. Okay. Now, once Brainy told me what this jackass said, I said, yeah, we're done, we're out. I dapped with the New Zealand guys. Say, hey, bro, God bless y'all. Thank you for everything you did. I'm out. When we left, they tried to guilt trip us. Okay? I want to point that out too. The staff there, the cops, security, whatever the fuck, they tried to guilt trip us. We're like, hey, where's the exit? We're leaving. Oh, y'all are leaving? Oh, you're leaving? Hey, y'all. Hey, they want to go. They want to go. Let them out. That's the exit right there. Yeah, let them out. We're like, what the fuck? They tried to guilt trip us. Oh, you want to leave? Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead and leave. Yeah, you're gonna miss out on your opportunity. That was the attitude. We left. I took me and Brandon went to this dope ass barbecue restaurant. From the time it took to leave the campus from the Uber to the barbecue restaurant was about a 35-minute drive. Okay. By that point, Hydra was still waiting in line. Now, granted, remember, Hydra's group was the last group that was called. When we left, it had been about an hour and a half since Hydra's group had been called. So Hydra's group is still standing in line waiting. He eventually got in to interview with the guy, went into the waiting room, filled out his application, waited for Kai, and he waited, and he waited, and he waited for 2 hours, Chad. 2 hours. Okay. Now, by the time we left the restaurant and got back on our second Uber after enjoying a fantastic meal of ribs, brisket, a brisket sandwich, mac and cheese, coleslaw, potato salad, and other delicious fixings, Hydra was still in that fucking room after paying $1,300 for his ticket. And you know what happened, Chad? You want to know what happened to Hydra? Kai Cenat brought his jolly little ass in with his keys and told everybody, hey man, I didn't have time. I couldn't get to everybody. I'm sorry. Fill out the online application, yada yada, this and that. Okay. All right. Okay. And remember, rewind the clock a little bit. Brainy and I, they attempted to guilt trip us into leaving. They tried to guilt trip us into leaving. Oh, you're gonna leave? Oh, okay. Motherfucker, leaving was the best decision we did. As a matter of fact, we should have left that bitch earlier. We should have. Plain and simple. There's no reason. There was no reason for us to have stayed as long as we did. And once again, if I had to place a guess, I don't think any other group was called after Hydras. So that was like 155 to 165, I believe. So if you were like, and so I think Kai ended the whole thing at 9 p.m. We left at about 6:30 to 7. So if anybody had stayed, yeah, it would have been, it's about 7 p.m. we got to the barbecue joint. So if we had stayed, or if other people had stayed, they would have stayed for another 2 hours without hearing another group being called. I'm going to say this. I enjoyed those ribs that we ate, bro. That's all I'm going to say. So, W barbecue. 2 hours, chat. Hydra was in the waiting room for 2 hours after standing in line for an hour before that. Okay. So, I say all of this to say, if that doesn't sound like a scam to you, I don't know what does. Because I will read you the definition of a scam. A scam is a deceptive scheme or fraudulent act designed to trick individuals or organizations into giving away money, personal data, or sensitive information. Scammers use manipulation, false promises, or impersonation to exploit their victims. We were definitely manipulated. We were manipulated with the idea of there being a chance to talk to Kai. Let me explain something to you about content creation, because a lot of people you're not content creators, you're novices to the game, or you just don't understand how this shit works, which is fair. As a content creator, let's say I write a script, right? Or I have an idea for a concept and I'm kind of fleshing it out. I have an idea of how long that thing is going to take to do. Right? Like when I do my Fortnite theories, I'm like, this script's kind of long. This is probably going to be about 3.5, 4 minutes, right? As an example. So I have an idea of how long something's going to take. Kai, I'm sure, knew every single celebrity and content creator that was going to show up. Okay? But let's hypothetically say that he didn't, and motherfuckers just started showing up. That's when he's got to start turning those people down. Like, hey man, I gotta do to these people that spent their time and their money to come here, because this is what pisses me off, and this is what Kai should have done. Because if Kai genuinely cared about his audience, if Kai genuinely cared about small content creators, if Kai genuinely cared about his brand and reputation, these are the things that he could have done, which would have made the event objectively better, made Kai more money, and made Kai look like a better person. Number one, Kai would have came in there and talked to us from the beginning. If Kai had came to that gymnasium like, hey, all right, everybody settle down. Bro, it's good to see you. Good to see you. I love you. Thank you. Please, guys, everybody, please sit down so we can get this started. Listen, first and foremost, I want to thank all of you guys for coming. I know some of y'all came far and wide. You come from different parts of the country, maybe different parts of the world, for this opportunity at Streamer University. I want to level with you guys and be honest. The LA tour, the LA show is going to be a little different because I got a few more content creators than in New York coming through to try to apply. I got some stuff planned with them. I'm gonna shoot some stuff with them. All right, we got some stuff we're shooting. However, I'm gonna try to get through as many as you guys as possible. Your guys' time is valuable, and I want to try to get through everybody. I'm gonna say this: I'm not gonna be able to get through all you guys, but I'm gonna do my best to get through as many of your applications as I possibly can because you guys took the time to come out here and support me and Streamer University. So thank you. He couldn't even do that. That's one thing. That was actually Brainy's suggestion on what he could have done. Brainy's like, if he had at least done that much, I would have been okay with it. I added a second thing to that, okay? Here's what I said. This is what I was saying by the bare minimum. If Kai had additionally said, listen, later on this evening, when we're getting closer to the end, which I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but it'll probably be by 9 p.m. because that's my cutoff time tonight. We're going to be handing out in-person applications to everybody in the auditorium. So listen to me. Even if I don't get the chance to see you, I will know that you were here. Make sure you put your socials down. Make sure you write your name, where you're coming from. And that will make sure that I have the best opportunity of knowing who's actually serious about this shit and who came out to support me in Streamer University. Like, Kai don't even have to talk to everybody to do that. He's stressing about how important these online applications are. Well, stress that again, like fill out the online application, fill out the physical application. We're going to be looking for your online applications based upon the physical applications that we receive. You guys are going to get first priority. We'll be looking into your socials, into your content, and make sure those submission videos are fantastic. I love you guys. Thank you. That would have been the bare fucking minimum. That's not hard to do. Printer. Paper. Sign it. Hand it to your staff. They store it. At least that way, I would have been like, you know what? I didn't get to meet Kai, but at least he'll know that I was here, and that combined with the content that I produce, with the effort of me showing up and filling out that application, basically 2 applications, that'll show him I'm a serious applicant. That should give me a little bit more credibility. Because those people that flew out that are serious content creators, I believe that they deserve. Like Kai's got to go through all the applications anyway. So why not let everybody that actually got there, give them an additional chance? I think that's fucking fair. So there was that, okay? Here's the other big problem that I have with what Kai did, okay? And this is really fucked up. Outside of keeping people outside for a really long time and not letting people pee and go to the bathroom and everything for a while, and not telling people that there was a bathroom line and all that, the other issue is this. You should not, I won't say cannot, but you should not be allowed to keep people in a room and tell them, you have to sit down, stay here, don't move around, and oh, by the way, we're gonna barely provide you with any. There were people that handed out water a little occasionally. There were people that handed out some Red Bulls. I think this was sponsored by Red Bull, but the food that was talked about was never brought. If Kai actually cared about his fans and about the integrity of this event, listen, if I were in Kai's position, this is what I would have done. I would have called 5 local Black-owned restaurants, because you know how Kai loves to support the Black community. I would have called 5 local Black-owned restaurants and be like, hello, Mrs. Jackson, my name is Kai Cenat, or I would have my secretary. This is Kai Cenat, secretary. You may have heard we're having a Streamer University local event, or students are or content creators are going to be able to apply to Streamer University. We heard great things about your restaurant. We would love for you and your establishment to come down and provide food. to the students of Streamer U, to the applicants of Streamer U. And just so you know, this is going to be a big event. We're expecting well over 3,000 people to show up. These are content creators of various sizes, various followings, all from all different parts of the country, some locally, some globally, wherever. But this will give you a chance to provide food for your business, to get exposure, not just by Kai Cenat and what he's doing for Streamer U, but also from other content creators that are going to be there with their platforms and their followings. And Kai would also like to pay you folks $10,000, $15,000, whatever, to be able to feed the our students or our applicants that are going to be there that night. We're expecting about 2,000 people to be inside, so you know you're going to be one of 5 vendors that we have there, but we would love to have you. That sounds like everybody eats, figuratively and literally, chat. So Kai gets to support local Black-owned business. The people that stood in line and waited get fed and treated with care. And we don't have people being restless and acting a goddamn fool because they're being taken care of and they're treated well because you care. And the thing is, Kai's got the money to do it, and it's good content. And you're blessing other people. I don't want to hear this shit about, oh, he's got a good heart, but like, I'm sure, like, look, I'm not, like I said, I don't want to throw out ad hominem attacks. I don't know Kai personally, but this is what I've realized, and this is the biggest problem with the content creation space, and what my class at Streaming University was supposed to be about. What I realized is that, and I've seen this in the Fortnite space too, the larger content creators at the top have a social club, a social circle, and they don't let a lot of people into that. They're very selective of letting people into that. And I understand that. That's fine. They have a lot of stuff. They have a lot of things to lose. They have a lot of things to lose, right? They can't just let anybody in. But I don't like being treated like I'm beneath you. You don't have to treat people like they're less than you to make your point or to be effective. That's wrong. I and many other creators felt less than because we were treated less than. We were treated like cattle. We were treated like sheep. We were herded. We were basically left into a prison, told, shut the fuck up, sit down, don't go to the bathroom, don't talk to other people, just be quiet, shut up, wait for your turn. And if we had to follow the rules, we would have, about 90% of us would have been sat there with no clips, no real crazy interactions, and left hungry, and no chance at there was no chance of us meeting Kai, chat. There was none. There was no chance. And this is why I call it a scam. I don't think Kai is like a terrible person, but I think Kai is young and he's got a lot of money and he knows that his name alone will draw huge crowds, and he's trying to generate hype for Streaming University. From a marketing standpoint, this is absolutely genius. Kai doesn't have to stream because everybody else was doing it, from his friends to the smaller creators in their communities. Even now with me doing this stream, this is getting more press for Streaming University, right? Now look, this is the last couple things I want to say, and then we're gonna wrap this bitch up. Number one, when it comes to me, I'm even though, like, I know I've been passionate this entire time, I know I got him worked up, I'm not really mad at Kai. I'll be honest, I'm just disappointed, bro. I really am. Oops, I don't know, my bad. Wow, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Excuse me. I'm disappointed in Kai because I expected better from him. You went on this whole journey, this whole arc. You did all this PR to show that you were growing and evolving as a person. You were reading books. You're trying to become more eloquent with your speech. All for you to go back and start tap dancing like you were right when you stopped streaming last time. It didn't show growth, it showed regression. This didn't show that you cared about your fans. This showed that you cared about yourself and the clique that you had formed. One thing I noticed that was very interesting, there was a clip I saw of Duke Dennis and Agent 00 talking about how they weren't even invited to Streaming University. And they didn't even apply. They didn't even apply to Streamer U. I thought it was a fantastic clip. I actually wanted to show it to y'all because I thought it was on point. But I'll show that later after I get done with this segment. But like the point is, like, Kai, this looks very. I don't care what any content creator say. I saw like Omizi, much love to him, much respect to him. He was talking about how great the event was. Brother, with all due respect, you weren't there. This was poorly handled. I have been to events. I have seen the behind the scenes of well ran events, polished events. I've talked to people that have coordinated events. My mother actually used to coordinate very big music events in Las Vegas. I know how this shit works. I know how to treat people. I know what a good venue looks like. If I'm being honest, this shit looked like it was slapped together last minute, which, to my point, chat, if this shit was so amazing and so great, then why the fuck did Atlanta cancel? Atlanta canceled because they saw the bullshit that New York and LA went through. It clearly wasn't worth the investment to them to get their campus or buildings, whatever the fuck, torn up by all these content creators that are coming out. This, once again, I'm not here to shit on Kai, but he has to understand that you have to do better than this, bro. You've got too much money, you've got too much influence, you got too much status. You know, and it's not, once again, it's not about the fact that I didn't get the chance to meet Kai. I'm not mad at the fact that I didn't get to meet Kai. I'm upset at the fact that I met some fantastic people that had less advantages than me. That basically their sacrifice to come to this thing was more than mine could have ever been, because they had less money and less resources, or had to come further than I did, and they didn't get to meet Kai. Like the guys from New Zealand. Shout out to Finn, bro. Finn got some dope clips from me. He seems like a fantastic content creator. I hope that he gets accepted in Streamer U. And look, I understand that by me saying all this shit, it does jeopardize my chances of going into Streamer U. I don't care. I don't. And it's not because I think I'm better than Kai or above him or fuck him and all. It's not about that. As from a content creator standpoint, Kai Cenat, if you ever watch this, brother, I have the utmost respect for you. You're a young man who's done a lot, but at the same time, you're still a young man. I know what you would have said to me if I got in that room. Damn, bro, you're 31? Yes. And with age, if you use it right, if you pay attention to your life, comes a little bit of wisdom. And Kai, unfortunately, this is not something you have yet, or not enough of it. I think in certain aspects you do, but with the way that I saw my friends and other content creators being treated, you did not give a shit. I didn't even talk about the security risks outside of everybody almost getting trampled or beat up in the middle of the fucking line. When we got into the building, there were no pat downs. I could have easily brought a weapon in. If somebody else could have easily brought a weapon in. You had celebrity guests. There was not enough security for that many people, brother. Ray J could have been hurt or worse. A lot of these content creators that you brought in could have been hurt or worse. You did them a disservice too, not just us. F that, bro. You don't need Stream University to get big. You've been doing it yourself. You'll continue to do it yourself. It's all good. You don't need Kai Cenat. Listen, bro. Much love to you, man. Thank you for paying for 2/3 of my plane ticket. It's, once again, chat, it's not about that. And I know that was kind of the narrative that people were thinking when I first got in, before I got on stream, but you needed to hear the full story. When I say something's a scam, it's not because I'm just trying to talk shit about Kai for clicks. I know this is going to get clicks, but it needs to. It should. Because you can't treat people this way. And this is what sucks about content creation, man. This is why I'm trying to tell you, chat, this shit is hard. This is the shit that makes it harder than a 9-to-5 at times. Because when you're in some people risk it all just to get nothing. There are people that I'm sure have gone into debt to do the shit. And you know what? Going back to the Atlanta thing for a minute, that's what it also pisses me off about that. Think about this for a minute. Let's say you're like me. You heard about the Atlanta shit on Thursday. You bought yourself a plane ticket to fly out on Monday. It's non-refundable. Or let's say, you scrounged up money to get yourself a plane ticket. Non-refundable. You bought it on Sunday night. You flew out Monday morning to be ready for Tuesday to open up your phone when you land at the airport to see that it was fucking canceled. Kai is not thinking about the average person who's having to spend the most amount of money or the last bit of their money to take a chance just to spend 2 minutes with him. Kai is thinking about how much money he can make, how many clips he can get, and how much his larger content creator and celebrity friends can benefit as a result of being paired to him. You can try to argue that that's an ad hominem attack, but I have laid out the evidence before you today. The actions speak louder than my words alone. You look at everything that happened and tell me different. Justify that. Justify people being treated like cattle. Justify people almost getting trampled over. Justify people not being told not to go to the bathroom. Justify people being blocked from their opportunities to shine as well as collaborate and connect with other content creators at multiple points throughout the day. Justify the disrespect of being treated like some elementary school student being told to sit down every 5 seconds. Justify letting content creators who already have millions of dollars and large followings access to Kai Cenat, who's putting on an event for people that are small creators and giving them the front row seat, while making the rest of us, who are the main event is supposed to be for in the first place, telling us to sit down and be quiet. Well, the millionaires just stack up more money. This is when, I don't like using the greedy billion-dollar or millionaire angle, but this is one of those times where you can, and it's obvious. And the funny part is some of these content creators have the audacity to say those arguments. Oh, greedy billionaires, greedy billion-dollar corporations are evil. Motherfucker, you do the same shit as them. You have your core group of people. You've got your secret boardroom of motherfuckers that you all sit down, you all associate with. Those little skits that you did with everybody were clearly planned out in advance. You knew that those motherfuckers were going to take a long time. You had a bunch of celebrities, a bunch of big content creators show up. They took 80-90% of the fucking time. Meanwhile, you got people sitting in the room for 2, 3, 4 hours waiting to talk to you, while also cherry-picking smaller creators so you can have the plausible deniability of, oh, well, I mean, I did talk to some, I just couldn't get through everybody. No, Kai, you didn't put in any effort to talk to as many people as you can. You know what Kai could have done? And this is another thing he could have done to make this whole thing better. If Kai wanted to bring in larger content creators, you should have made them judges. Get Lacey, get Stable Ronaldo, get Jason the Ween, have them at different checkpoints, and let the smaller content creators interact with them, so even if they don't get to you, they still get a clip with a bigger content creator that they can meme with. But those bigger content creators can also they can also discern whether or not this person should go to the next level or not. That would have been so much better. Kai, you could have made more money. You would have had more clips because you would have gone through more people, more communities would have seen this, more people would have benefited. You could have brought black-owned businesses in to feed the people that spent 12 hours waiting in line in an auditorium combined to your shit, and 3 days, 4 days worth of effort waiting. I'm not saying that everybody can get in. I'm not saying you can talk to everybody, but motherfucker, over the course of 7 to 8 hours, you could have easily gotten through 800 people, because not all 800 are serious and not all 800 deserve to get to talk to you. But I and the creators like me deserved to talk to you if you're going to put on an event that's designed for small content creators to have your ear. But we never had a chance, which is why this shit was a fucking scam, and why, quite frankly, Kai, you should be ashamed of yourself. Rant fucking over.